Good evening. The Taliban movement came out with a caretaker government. What is remarkable about this new Taliban government is that it included the leadership of the movement who participated in negotiations with the administration of former President Donald Trump and signed the agreement with him, the agreement that the Biden administration intended to implement in a way that seems as if the United States had lost its balance in terms of withdrawing from Afghanistan in a manner described by observers as humiliating.
Thank you very much. How are you?
Make sure you get us in the back. Right in the back. I may have, you know what?
Appreciate it, too. I appreciate you. You don't get enough credit. We rebuilt the military. They gave $85 billion of it away, brand new Apache helicopters. Can you believe they gave them away? Why would you give them away? You fly them out. You take them out. And they had all the time in the world. We had everybody on hold. The Taliban was on hold. I dealt with the top guy, Abdul, and there was nothing he was going to be doing with us. All of a sudden, we have a rigged election, and all of a sudden we flee Afghanistan. What time?
Oh, God. Get it back, sir. Thank you, sir.
The withdrawal put the American forces in the target position again. Perhaps the bombing of Kabul airport is the best evidence, as 13 American soldiers were killed, as if that did not stop at embarrassing President Biden administration until the announcement of the government that included former detainees in Guantanamo, headed by the General Intelligence President Abdul Haq Wathiq and Khairallah Khair Kawa, in addition to Nurullah Nouri and Muhammad Fadl Mazloom, and the Minister of Interior Sirajuddin Haqqani, who has been allocated a reward of $10 million for further information on him. Not to mention the presence of one of the founders of the movement, Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradir, and Mullah Muhammad Yaqub, the son of Mullah Omar, the historical leader of the movement. This government will put Washington in a suspicious position in terms of to deal with it, knowing that the most of its members are wanted by Washington and added on the U.S. terrorist lists. How will the Biden administration deal with it, and how will it justify this duplicity to the American public opinion? In a report published by the Washington Times titled "Wanted Terror Leaders Occupy Senior Positions in Afghan Government," it's noted that Afghanistan's new caretaker government is dominated by prominent old members of the Islamist insurgency that is now in charge in Kabul. Those appointments seem to raise more questions about recent pledges by senior Taliban officials that they will seek to form an inclusive government after the US-backed government in Kabul was toppled in a lightning attack last month. The Biden administration said the new leadership in Afghanistan would play a critical role in deciding whether to consider diplomatic recognition and the resumption of aid to Taliban-controlled Afghanistan. On the other hand, it appears that all the appointees are currently working only as prosecutors. The main Taliban spokesman said the new head of state would be Mullah Muhammad Hassan Akhwand, who was foreign minister and deputy prime minister in the hardline Taliban government that ruled Afghanistan from 1996 to 2001. It is well known that Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, who gained international fame as the head of the Taliban negotiating team that struck the withdrawal agreement with the Trump administration in early 2020, will be one of his senior vice presidents. No non-Taliban candidates and no women were included among the new leadership, although some figures associated with the previous government, including former President Hamid Karzai, were in talks with the Taliban leadership after the fall of Kabul on the matter.
Yesterday, the Taliban named a new interim government. We're assessing the announcement, but despite professing that a new government would be inclusive, the announced list of names consists exclusively of individuals who are members of the Taliban or their close associates, and no women. We're also concerned by the affiliations and track records of some of those individuals. We understand the Taliban has presented this as a caretaker cabinet. We will judge it and them by its actions. The international community has made clear its expectation that the Afghan people deserve an inclusive government. The Taliban seek international legitimacy and support. Any legitimacy, any support will have to be earned. And we heard that across the board from everyone participating in today's session. We also discussed how we will hold the Taliban to their commitments and obligations to let people travel freely, to respect their basic rights, including women and minorities, to ensure that Afghanistan is not used as a launching pad for terrorist attacks, and not to carry out reprisal violence against those who choose to stay in Afghanistan. We'll also hold the Taliban to their commitment to allow humanitarian access. The toll of conflict, drought, COVID-19 have hit the people of Afghanistan very hard and left millions displaced.
This new cabinet is heavily skewed towards the country's ethnic Pashtuns, who make up about 40% of the population, but has long been the heart of the Taliban's resistance. The Taliban spokesman said two powerful posts went to the sons of prominent leaders in the 20-year fight against US and allied forces in Afghanistan. Mullah Yaqub, son of Taliban founder Mullah Muhammad Omar, acting defense minister, and Sirajuddin Haqqani, head of the violent Haqqani network, and son of warlord Jalaluddin Haqqani, acting as interior minister. In my conclusion, the Taliban still seem concerned about the image they project as they face the challenge of running a huge, poor and divided country. The new government issued a political statement declaring that our message to our neighbors and the region and the world is that the territory of Afghanistan will not be used against the security of any other country. The statement also appealed to foreign diplomats and international aid agencies to return to Afghanistan. The question will still remain: will the Biden administration confront Taliban as a terrorist group or limit its criticism and deal with Taliban as ipso facto power in Afghanistan? That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Waiting for your thoughts and comments.